The Missouri River, a historical humans production. The Missouri River, the Mighty Mo, Big Muddy, Wide Missouri, Paquitanui, Kiparutski, Minnesosi, is an important, if often overlooked, waterway within the United States. While it doesn't evoke the same natural imagery as other state-named rivers, such as the Colorado, the Mississippi, the Ohio, the Delaware, the Missouri River is among the most important and prominent rivers in the United States. The river serves as a vital artery of the American West and Midwest, and holds great historical importance for the role that it played in the exploration of the Northwest, the American fur trade, and the subsequent Indian Wars. The Missouri River is the longest river in the United States, flowing 2,341 miles or 3,767 kilometers, originating in the Rocky Mountains in the southwestern portion of Montana. The river flows east and south before finally emptying in the Mississippi River just north of St. Louis. Despite being a tributary of the Mississippi, the Missouri is longer and carries a comparable volume of water. When combined, the two form the fourth longest river system in the world. The Missouri River begins in western Montana before flowing east into North Dakota. When it then begins its south flow from North Dakota, it then bisects South Dakota, flowing along the borders of South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, and Missouri, before the Missouri then flows through Missouri before completing its journey by emptying into the Mississippi River. Numerous state capitals dot the river, from Helena, Montana, Bismarck, North Dakota, Pierre, South Dakota, and Jefferson City, Missouri. This only adds to the importance the Missouri played in the history of the United States. The Missouri is also home to a number of Plains indigenous tribes, both historically and presently, ranging from the Hidatsa, Mandan, Pawnee, Ojibwe, Sauk, Fox, Arikara, Sioux, both Dakota and Lakota. The Missouri was both a place where indigenous tribes lived and hunted, mainly living a nomadic lifestyle that relied heavily on the hunting of the massive bison herds that roamed. Archaeologists have discovered hundreds of historic and prehistoric villages that dotted along the riverside. However, many of these sites were later inundated by the building of large dam projects. Upon the arrival of Europeans to the region, saw the rise and continuation of the fur trade. This was partially due to the navigability of the Missouri and its use as a water-based highway for explorers and traders. The increased presence of Europeans and the fur trade, plus their weaponry and diseases along with their western push, led to a lot of intertribal conflict as living space became more sparse. Further immigration into this territory exponentially started growing after the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, when this land became officially a part of the United States. The Missouri is probably the most well-known, as it is documented during Meriwether Lewis and William Clark's expedition to map and explore the recently acquired territory, along with finding a practical travel route across the western half of the United States. The importance of navigable waterways cannot be understated in how important it was for the exploration and traveling across the country during this time. This began building up pressure between the new settlers and the indigenous who had called the land home for generations, and came to a head during the American Indian Wars, where the Dakota War of 1862 and the Black Hills Wars were some of the most prominent battles fought in this region. Of note, Custer's Last Stand, the Wounded Knee Massacre, and the Ghost Dance War, where a number of war crimes were committed on behalf of the United States military. It was also during this time that the Great Sioux Reservation was established in western South Dakota, until gold was discovered and the treaty that promised the Sioux would keep the Black Hills was violated. The land was subsequently mined, the forest cut down, and the land taken from its indigenous inhabitants. In more modern times, the river has changed its place in society. The river was extensively developed with 15 hydroelectric dams that is used for flood control, irrigation, and the obvious power generation. The river now provides water for millions of acres worth of farmland. However, due to the dams and development, wildlife and fish populations have suffered as well as overall water quality. The Missouri, while being overshadowed by its successor, is one of the most important rivers in the United States and in the world. It is one of the longest river systems in the world, contributing to the Mississippi River at their merge in St. Louis. The Missouri was a vital point of life and congregation for indigenous tribes who called the land home for generations, that hunted the land, and the large bison herds that once lived along the river. The Missouri also played a massive role in the expansion and eventual settlement by the United States, and was forever immortalized in American history classes as being the avenue for the majority of Lewis and Clark's expedition. Now it plays a more low-key role as a major point of recreational activities and power generation. But the importance of the Missouri never wanes. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like down below. Be sure to share if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to check out the Humanitarian Collections, our new web store that helps support the Trevor Project. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.